Evening all, welcome to another ICC Banter Blitz. So it's Friday evening, it's approaching 9 PM UK time, starting slightly a little bit earlier. Okay, so yeah, I went on a bit of a holiday somewhere else in England and last week, and still I miss doing the streaming actually. Okay, so let's see what happens tonight. Let's start off. There's no challenges right now, a bit early. Could start off with a 3-minute auto pairing. So this is a interesting line here. Provoking him for d5. Now, I'm thinking this is okay actually, until I lose a piece there. oh boy. Yeah. Rook c8 would have been better as well. Okay, there's a number of inaccuracies. Oh dear, dear, dear. Can I get any cheapos over here or not? Doesn't look entirely promising right now. Yeah, this is something on G2 here. But I think you can just take. This isn't a good start. I think you just take here basically. There's no real trap or anything. Is there rook e3 trying to deflect the queen from g2 potentially? That's pretty optimistic stuff. Pretty optimistic indeed. Yes, this seems to be just getting worse and worse at this moment. My usual fantastic start. Okay. Yeah, knight e6 looks like an absolute killer. It could be time to throw in the towel here actually and try another one. Yes, that's the beauty of chess. Try another one. Okay, let's just do one more on the 3-minute auto pairing to see if I can warm up a bit. 3-minute auto pairing. Smith Mora. Okay, so trying to hold the center here. Right, this looks so far. Queen's coming off, doesn't look that brilliant. The bishop e3. Alright, can I double the rooks? I don't think I've got much here, unfortunately, but anyway, it's better than the other position. I haven't lost the piece yet. That's the good news. So bishop e4 and rook d7. Maybe rook d7 is threatened there. What about knight d4? There's that pin. He's just... Yeah, okay, he hasn't got an entry point just yet, has he? So, as long as his rook's not coming down... I'm not getting much here. Knight d4, knight b5, maybe. I'm on a7. Give some space for the king. Maybe... get the king over here. What was it? It's check. King e2. Oh, that just drops that pawn. Wonderful. Okay, okay. Knight d4, c4. Maybe this plan, knight c3 to d5, is worth thinking about. Oh no, a4 maybe. Or f4. Maybe I'll try and get this d4 square. No, it's going to win another pawn now. With knight c4. Yeah. Okay, can I do this to try and not lose another pawn? to knight c4 and rook d5. No, another pawn's going. Another pawn is going here. Unless there's a move there. Maybe I should have thought about a move there. Okay. Anything I can do here which might maximize resistance? Anything? Let's see. King c4 to b5. There's b5 check. I could just take. I'll try. That would be trying to get a pawn back at least. It hasn't got b5. I can take here. The bishop, thankfully, is protecting the rook. So okay, at least I get one pawn back. It's got bishop d4 though. I don't want to have trade by force. There.
Check.
Oh, this king looks pretty aggressive. Can I have considered king c4? He's always going to have his bishop on strong square. Okay, he's infiltrating with his king. I cannot get rid of. Okay, I can't get rid of any of his pawns just yet. Can I? He's queening. He's queening. What can I do here? There's another one biting the dust. He's just winning a piece. Have I just been disconnected, or is he? I'm still connected. Could I be saved by a disconnect here? That'd be sad, but true. I mean, f2. If he doesn't get back in time, f2 is clearly winning. I've been outplayed to this point. Oof. Alright, yeah, let's try another 3-minute auto pairing. Let's try and get a reasonable position for longer. I'm mastering it, I think. I'll save my disconnection now. I've got disconnection and forfeit is a setting if you want to play on the ICC auto pairing. So it's if you want to play it's a setting anyway which has saved me here. Okay. Not great, I know. Just outplayed there. I think I'll try and play this line. Try and get a better position, then try and build on something.
Check.
The art of. Okay, so here it looks as though there's something. Okay, I know this is crazy, but King G3 strikes me as a move for some reason. Just to get out of the F file to try and play H4 and Bishop H7. I don't know if that's entirely sound. It's an idea for a Greek gift. I just want to try and. Yeah, H4 and Bishop H7, Knight G5, FG, HG, and then the Queen coming in. So I'm hoping this Bishop H7. Playing this anyway. Mind you, there's Knight D4, isn't there? Knight D4, yeah, there's Queen H5. Yeah. So I've got Queen F7 and Queen H7. Now this is looking okay. Queen F7 is something of interest, I hope.
Check.
How to use that? Well, there is a Knight F7 possibility, if I could only get out of the way, winning material. I'll just reserve that for a moment. I'll protect D4. This looks okay. I should have. Yeah, it looks better than my last two games so far. So Bishop E3, Rook C1, despite the weird king movements, I think that helps secure an aggressive pawn center. That's sometimes pretty good. And don't tell me my queen's getting trapped. Ah, got to be careful
Check.
here. Okay, h5. Alright, he hasn't got g5 just yet. Alright, I'm pleased with this game so far. Still. Maybe bishop e3 just to support the centre for a moment. a3, knight f2, that sort of thing. I'll try and fragment the pawns a little bit. Okay, I'm happy with the position a little bit here. I've got a pawn to play against here. Rook h5, double rooks. This looks okay. Support the rook. If there's a knight sack, there's a knight sack. Knight g5 is not possible because the knight's protecting the rook. Let's just go back for a moment here. And so there is knight g5 as a possibility. Maybe b4. Does he maneuver a knight into he has the c3 square if I do that. I think I want to play for g4, so I'm going to play this. See if he lets me play g4. Okay, it's kind of been prevented. Let's protect this, so maybe g4 is on the cards here without tactically being a total disaster. I think I've got to get some pressure on h6. Let's see. It takes king g3 after. Okay, I can do this. Or is that h5? Am I losing a piece to h5? Oh, don't tell me I'm losing a piece. That was a dodgy move, wasn't it? h5. Wait. Is this losing two pieces for a rook? Might not be end of the world. Right, I can take a pawn here. To f5 gives me bishop h6. I think I'm in the driving seat for a change. Bishop h6. Yeah, I look to be in the driving seat here. There might be e6 and rook f7 now. I do like these advanced Tarrasch recently. I've been doing alright with the sometimes with the advanced Tarrasch. Yeah, this is pretty cool. This is pretty cool. I think it's going down.
Check.
Yeah, there's knight d5 here. Alright, so e7. I think it's going down. Rook e5. I've won a game for a change here. Okay. And let's go for another 3-minute break. Okay. Alright, that was a game I'm more pleased with. Yeah, okay. Black coffee, GM. Quite low rated for some reason. Okay. Why is he lower rated than me? That's a concern for him. Okay, so if I castle an e6, have a Benoni stuff. So Benoni kind of set up. And he stopped the bishop g4 f3 to try and, if I wanted to strengthen my dark squares, that would have been the plan. He's extinguished by playing the early h3. Yeah, maybe, okay, he might not be the quickest GM. I suspect that might be the reason for his rating. So let's see. Try not to get mated, basically. Too quickly. Queen b2. Is it too dodgy? It's a bit committal, but on the other hand, it could cause some trouble for me. Knight b5. Let's not go crazy. Let's not go crazy on the queen b2 for a change. Let's try and not be greedy. I think he's pushing for dynamic potential in general. I would say he doesn't care about his b2 pawn if there's knight b5. So let's see. What's the big deal about my pressure here? Is there any big deal? Queen c7 and b5. Any big deal about it? Knight e7, knight e5, knight h5. Oh, we've got a good dark square grab. Have I? Knight h5? Maybe not really. Knight d7, knight e5. Well, it's given me time to think about this anyway. Alright, I think I will go for knight h5 here with tempo. Now queen b2 is more tempting. C4 is not doing too much at the moment. Does he want to play g4? I'd welcome the weaknesses. If he plays g4, I'll go back. Job done, creating some weaknesses there. So in the meantime, also knight e5 looks like a fairly pleasant position. Yes, he might not be the quickest ever on the 3-minute auto pairing. If I play knight e5 and he took, my dart square grip is okay. Okay, let's do this. Okay, there's a5, queen c7, any f4, there's c4 check, winning that bishop. I could make use of that. Yeah. Now, I don't want to weaken my dart squares. That is a way of getting mated. But on the other hand, I can win a piece here with bishop takes and CD. Is that worth paying the price? It might be, you know, to win a piece. I say about not getting mated, but I'm putting myself on the verge of getting mated here with these dart square weaknesses. Can I somehow avoid getting mated? How? Prepare f6. So knight g7, f6. Well, his bishop and queen need to be arranged differently to arrange a checkmate. Okay, the knight can hang around here defending g7, but I can't defend this one. So I can't defend h8. Getting scared. Oh, okay. Queen e8 defends. Does it not? Or e takes. I'm getting torn apart here. Why am I doing this to myself? Okay, let's see. Is he going to have e5? King f7. Try and set up a blockade and use the h file. That's getting scary. Is that bishop f5? Oh, this guy's going to be violent, isn't he? Is that knight f4, queen f4? Knight f4. Okay, I'm hitting his queen. There's bishop f5, trying to get the queens off. There's rook g2. Okay, I managed to not be mated. I think that was the key thing in that game against probably I assume a veteran GM. Okay, his 5 minutes not bad actually. It's 2299 on the auto pairing. Okay, so cool. All right, I'll take it. So bottle. Let's try this. So h5, h4, knight g6, h4. Right, this looks very. I love this position because of knight g4, knight h4. I've had this hundreds of times in bullet. This kind of pattern position in bullet. This is close relative of bullet. This is really dangerous. The bishop's fantastic. The knight's pretty fantastic. f5. I'm going to get rid of this thing. I'm weakening his light squares actually. I think I like to do this. There's h4 still, and I've weakened his light squares. I'm very happy with this opening, to say the least. Very happy at the moment with this. E4, knight h4, rook h4, queen h4. There's rook h1, there's queen f2. If I'm threatening queen h2, how does he deal with that? I don't know how he deals with that. This might be worth playing. H3 I don't think achieves much. I'm just looking at this position here. Let's just go for it. Let's see what happens here then. Queen g5. Okay. Let's see. I'm on f2.
Check.
This cannot be healthy. I've got f4 here for knight e3. This cannot be healthy. King safety. Unless I'm missing a mate in one. No. I'll play this. It opens up the bishop. Positional move. Opening up the bishop. Thanks for the game. It was one of my dream opening positions for bullet chess. I think this is very, very promising, with knight takes e3 check, winning the queen even if he's got knight e6.
Check.
I'll probably take queen g2, queen g4 after. I'll take this.
Check.
Take the queen. Alright, there's queen f3, queen d1. Alright, cool. Okay, I got a challenge from Mozaf ICC. Yeah, okay, things have warmed up a bit. for my luck, from the first two games, things have been a bit warmer recently. Okay, that's pretty cool. Alright, let's see. So bishop d3 and knight d2. This looks like a fairly solid position and promising. If I've got queen e2, oh, my head's cut off. I've just realised. I should learn myself. So queen e2, e4, queen e2, e4, e5. Or rook e1. It still seems a positive position at the moment. I believe this is a positive position. Can I rule out bishop g6 if I want to take and win a pawn, and just simply use the e file here? Is that possible if I just double the rooks for a moment? There's also bishop f5 there to think about as a forcing move. It might be handy here, bishop f5, just to make sure that queen's not doing anything on the diagonal. Can I then, if I double the rooks, then I can look out for ways of trying to weaken black's e-file. The check, as in, there's a recent game, Adams lost in about 30 moves to the Shark, Mamadarev. They called that Shark nickname. And he played to win that bishop h7. It was really dangerous because he sacked on f7 later. I've been meaning to video annotate that game. But just wondering about the bishop h7 check. What about g4 just to embarrass this bishop? If I go for bishop here and then g4, isn't that a way of like causing some damage and winning a pawn? G4. This one there's like knight b4. Anytime I play that, well, g4 is going to be winning a piece. Getting tempo here is important, I think. If I can play g4, is he going to sack the knight? Bishop g4, he sacks the knight. doesn't seem entirely sound. I think I've got bishop g6 after, for queen g6, queen g4. Now he could take on f3, but even so, I'm ripping his king to shreds in this variation, I think. So I'm going to go for it. If I can swing a rook in, I think this is going to be deadly. Let's see. So queen g6, queen h6, rook e6. I think this is going to be deadly. This kind of savage attack.
Check.
Let's put the queen on h7. Yeah, this is inspired by the recent Mamadaryov game I've seen. It's quite a recent game, just played in the last week or two. Yeah, okay, there's an interesting game to check out if you haven't. Adams he doesn't really loses it so quickly, but he did against Mamadaryov recently. Mamadaryov has hit the 2800 as well recently. He's been playing amazingly well. Maybe he got a lot of confidence after beating Wesley So. So anyway, I'm going to put a knight on c4 here. This is a plan I've used quite a bit. The early e6 might fracture his king safety a little bit. I know it sort of brings pawns to the center, but I'm hoping I can do something with this position. About what? Yeah, about what? About what? I don't know actually. Maybe I've already gone wrong. I'm not sure about this. Because knight d4, it looks as though he could secure a knight down. Can I kick it later with c3? That's the interesting thing. Do I get any advantages whatsoever if I can kick his knight later with c3? It takes quite a while to try and arrange a position where okay, he's played that move. Now I'm being driven back. Knight d2, try and provoke, leaving that pawn there rather than bringing it to the center. This might be the best course of action. If he plays something like d4, he's weakening some light squares. Okay, I know I'm passive on c2 here for a moment. I'm hoping I can get some extra weaknesses on the light squares. How could that actually be achieved? How can I actually get rid of his knight on d4? Fascinating. Maybe there's another way of playing this. e5. If knight d7, there's no knight g4 here. If knight d7, f4, I mean this is possible. It will blunt the bishop. What's the downside here? Well, he stopped it. That's one downside. If I play f4, I'm weakening my king this diagonal. Maybe it's just safer to stop knight g4 for a moment. Yeah, now I'm thinking he's going to use the d file with rook d8. At least I've stopped knight g4. In fact, let's stop him using the d file because I don't like this extra on my queen. Can I challenge this knight? Now if he took and then d4 again, he's weakening the light squares a bit. If he did that, right? Can I do this now? Try and weaken d5. Knight b5. Useful tempo, maybe to go to c4 later. Not about winning the pawn really, but just as a way of getting to c4. Try and protect this one first. So a6, knight a3 to c4. Let's see what evil things he's got planned here. The f file's a bit congested at the moment. I just want to get a knight into c4. Maybe you can plonk a knight on c3. Possibly in that regard, I might need to put my bishop on. I can stop. Well, I can do this to stop knight d5. It's not ideal. You can win an exchange, I guess. Nearly. I can play bishop e5 there to stop losing the exchange. Right, he's not hitting the f4 bishop yet. Can I just do this to try and... There's bishop c7 here as well. I can do this with keeping two threats, rook d2 and bishop c7. I think this might be it. He might be thinking, well, he might have missed that. I can take on d3 here. There's a pin now on the d8 rook. I'm hitting f5. Okay, I can win another pawn, and I'm winning another pawn and getting a pin on d8 with tempo. This cannot be bad news. I've had worse news. This cannot be bad news. Okay, thanks. Okay, Raslin. Okay, Raslin. Let's see. Oh, I've just blundered this pawn for nothing. Now this is something I accidentally play and regret it after. He could have just taken on d4. Yes, that is true. I was probably playing for some naughty trap there, and it's just terrible if they just take on d4. So don't try that at home. Okay, whatever you do, it's just losing a pawn. Yeah, okay, but anyway, I get fianchetto here because I've got congestion issues. But on the bright side of this, there might be castling. I might be trying to get into these light squares with f4, f5 later, and try and hem in this bishop on g7. If I can play castling f4, f5, I think that will be quite promising. Now here, okay, this rook e8, unless there's something naughty, well, the bishop e4. What did he do to bishop e4? So rook e8 trying to pin my queen. Let's see. What's the idea here? I've got queen g4 if he's not careful. He'll have to give up the exchange as well. I think queen g4 is probably a threat here. Queen g4. Let's see if he plays knight e5. Okay, there's f3 here. Surely f3. Not queen g4 because rook takes e4 check is embarrassing. Alright. Castle. Let's see. Again, I'm not sure of the point of the psec. It might not be sound. He's also got hemmed in bishop. Queen b6, bishop d4 if needed. Pins that knight. Queen b6, bishop d4, I believe, pins that knight. Knight e4, I just take his queen without too much hassle. I think this is looking good. Rook d1, bishop, good news again basically. Rook d1, bishop d4. Yeah, I think this is looking pretty good. I think he's blundered a piece basically. So rook d1, bishop d4. Anything else to consider? I'm not sure what I can. The position's already pretty good because this hemmed in bishop. So rook d1, bishop d4. Yeah, it looks pretty good. I'll get some water in. How are you guys on stream? Hope you're enjoying the session so far. Tell me, 1 fun, 10 boring so far. I'm hoping it's been quite good so far. I know I had a shaky start, but things have seemingly improved recently. Okay. Hope you're all okay this week. Okay, let's see. Okay, let's see. King g2. Just to sort of safeguard the position a little bit more. I could take off that guy just to make sure. Or is that too cautious? I'm opening up his bishop. I want to keep his bishop dead in the water. Maybe that's helping his position. Although it's tempting to simplify. I'm wondering if... Yeah, what if... What if I did this? That's a beautiful knight there. I like this hemmed-in bishop. Let's see. Okay. Let's see. Rook d2. Whew. Yeah, let's see. Okay, that bishop's coming out to play. If I double the rooks here, and I want to play, I think I want to play f4 and queen g4 to try and make use of this and this and the queen, of course. So f4 and queen g4. Alright, now, yeah, there's always knight g6. Maybe I should simplify. Alright, let's simplify. The bishop is not such a dead piece. Right, if I just reinforce the knight, just in case that's going to drop off at some point. So how do I strengthen the position here? Oh, there's rook d7 if I want to go into the position and knight check at some point for f7. Alright, let's see this one. Can I just get the queens off then? h4 is possible here. There's queen d8 for knight e7. We'll just try and get this queen out of my territory. Is that happening? Okay, he's trying to coordinate on the dark square. It's something naughty. Yeah, I'm not sure how to necessarily put this game away just yet. Although h7 might be a target here with this battery. What if I go for try and take on h7 as the first course of action? So taking on h7, right, and then going back here. Should I be worried about this passed pawn and the dark squares? Dark squares are more of a concern. This holds g1. Yeah, I'm playing to get mated here, aren't I? Queen g1, king h3. I'm nearly getting mated here. Oh crikey! I shouldn't have allowed this.
Check.
But nevertheless, I don't see what he does if I'm nearly getting mated now. Oh man, no. Is there knight f5? Hang on. Let's try and think the way through this. Knight f5, queen h1, king g4, queen g2, king h5. Knight f5. As long as I don't get mated, there's no concrete mate. Although this seems to be totally unnecessary to get this kind of position. It's pretty unfortunate, but nevertheless.
Check.
Now, queen c4, and I will be threatening queen c8. Now check, king h5. Yeah, I know this shouldn't have been allowed. I know. You should not allow your opponent so much counterplay. I'm aware of that.
Check.
It's I'm hoping there's no mate here. Right, but there might be a mate for me now. If I lose these forcing moves, my queen and knight should finish the situation, resolve the situation. That was how not to play the position when you're winning. Okay, Mozaf. Did we play Mozef? I just want to do a check. We played Mozef. Okay, Aqua. I don't remember that nickname earlier. aqueducts. Okay, aqueducts. Okay. I'm going to try a knight c6 French, and this is a 3-minute game as well. Okay, I'm going to play this because it's sometimes done well against the exchange French. The plan I have is to get a knight on e4 and a flank attack after. So a knight coming to e4, because white's light squares are a little bit weakened sometimes. When I say, well, actually here, can I go for queen d4? It's the exchange French. But the pawn structure has changed a bit to be more interesting than usual. Let's see, rook e8 here. I'm wondering about knight e3, so that's not doing anything just yet. Okay, if he plays for rook e1, I think that knight's pinned. There's always a queen e1, I think. So I'm going to risk this position. Can I treble on the e file? I'm hoping this knight's pinned. It's safeguarding the diagonal right now on e5. Let's see. So knight d2, 2 rooks for a queen, I think is an okay thing to happen. Let's protect with this rook. And then shuffle with bishop c8. Now if he wanted the trade of rooks there, the knight would still be pinned. So I'm still safeguarding this diagonal. I have been compromised with the absence of that bishop. I'm weaker on the dark squares here. So I think I've got to watch out, obviously, as you do. Bishop c8. I think I wanted to safeguard the knight against g4 there. He kind of prompted that visually with g3, as though g4 is also a potential threat there. Sometimes that happens, that you see an opponent's move and you become aware of a potential threat. It's a bit silly, but that's what happened there. Okay, so I've secured against g4, but it might also facilitate h4. And I'm wondering also here now, knight d4 with tempo. That gives me bishop f5 after. Okay. His knight's going to be moving soon. So my queen is... I could pin the knight again. I think I'm going to pin the knight again. To say I'm going to play queen takes if needed. Now I'm a bit worried. Can I get rid of the queens here? Alright, get rid of the queens. Yeah, I'm very cautious with exchange Frenches. Haven't really got that much to play with. Can I play for h3? Maybe I had h3 at some... No, maybe not. h3 here? Is that useful?
Check.
Not sure my plan actually now. What is my plan? This pawn looks potentially dangerous if there was a knight g3 at some point. Oh, he's coming in on the dark squares. So he's damaging my pawn chain. Oh, there's knight d4 winning the bishop here.
Check.
But on the other hand, his pawn's about to queen. Can I queen my pawn to rescue the situation here? I don't know if there's any other way of slowing down his pawn. I'm not sure there is. He's 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. He's got a check. Alright, now he's got Queen F6. If I play the check here, then there's
Check.
Queen D8 potentially, if he allows Queen D8, which he doesn't. Okay, can I do this? Or this? Or even Knight E5 actually. Because check.
Check.
Um.
Time. Check.
Have I just gone into
Check.
potential? No.
Check. Check.
I have, haven't I? I've gone into a potential.
Check. Check.
Is he gonna... What? Oh! He didn't press draw, you know. Sorry, I'm used to some other sites where a draw is just, you know, automatic. It's not here, actually. He should have pressed draw. I think... Sorry, safety tip. If you have a repetition with freefold, you need to press draw. Oh, well. Sorry. I don't know. He got a draw there. Yeah, it was draw by potential. Yeah, you need to press draw on the ICC with the freefold. It's sometimes on other sites it's automatic. I'm sometimes yeah. Okay, that was a draw by potential, really. Okay, so moral draw by potential. I thought it was interesting. I think I underestimated the Queen F6, Queen H4. Okay, and there's Metanov. Let's see. Alright. Now, I've had some troublesome opening against him. Let's try this one. I think I've done alright with G3. This line. So I'm going to take in G4 and Bishop G2. And then H3 and Knight G, E2, Knight G3. Okay, so D4, Knight E4. I've had this in over the board game. You try and get a grip on the light squares. So Knight G3, D3, G5. It's a light square grip strategy, and I've had this kind of thing as well. I think I don't mind necessarily. I believe H4. I don't think I should mind HG because I'm looking forward to G5 and Queen H5 here, where I'm still holding F5 and this diagonal is compromised. So I think G5 and Queen H5, G5 and Queen H5 is making it a bit tricky. I can play maybe FG on Queen, yes. Alright, so can I take this and take here, hitting the bishop on C5 for a moment, and protecting G5 and threatening Knight F6. Now, if Bishop E7 F6, alright, so this is representing a change of plan from what I said earlier, a rapid change of plan. Bishop E7 F6, Queen D4 I'm going to take on C5 to avoid getting mated on F2. The question is this FG is it still worth it to play FG? Maybe. I'm hoping so for that Queen H5 mentioned. So Queen H5 and let's see, threatening G7. Is there any other concern here? D4 is a rapid development move, losing a pawn, but if I want to get some pieces out of the box on the queen side, there's also B4 to consider. But my immediate threat is G7 check. What does he do about G7 check? G7 check. G7 check. What does he do about this? Let's say he does King F8. Can I play a move like D3? He takes on C2. Well, say he took on C2, Bishop D2. I'd have Bishop B4 check. In fact, King F8, Queen H8 check. Then there's Queen F6 check, picking off the bishop. So I can just work with the Queen here on King F8. Check. King moves. Queen F6 check. This piece is hanging. Loose piece. Liability. Yeah. Okay, so what does he do? King D7, G7. Threatening. Right, he does that. Okay. Again, okay, G7 he moves the knight. I think I do want to develop these pieces. Maybe just D4 here. I think the idea of D3, Queen C2, Bishop D2 is interesting. It gives me an immediate access. Well, I'm a little concerned. It's should I be that concerned? I think one should always be concerned. I'm going to try. I think I'm going to try D3. I've got to get these pieces working, surely. So Bishop D2. Treat this as a positional sacrifice, losing these two pawns. Bishop D2 and Rook C1 and Bishop B4 later. Okay, so first positional sack, so to speak. Okay, so Rook C1 and Bishop B4 will make things surely more dangerous for him here. Rook C1, Queen B2, Queen H7. Well, where he's not coming near my king anytime soon, right? I'm hoping. Oh. Well, I'll simplify. Actually, I haven't got that much here.
Check.
What have I got here? I don't think I've got much now. Okay, anyway. If the knight moves, there's Rook D7 at least. I've still got this pawn. But he's got a tempo there. Rook D7. Oh, I can pin. I can pin. Pin and win. Let's see, so Bishop D6 next. If he doesn't do something about this pin, I don't know what he's doing about the pin. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. So, take this. Let me friend this. Check. And take here. Trying to improve the position slightly before taking. I think that's a habit from engine post-mortem analysis. When engines are totally ruthless and greedy, you think they should just take a piece, and they end up instead finding stronger continuations where they kind of win a pawn first, then win another pawn first, then win another pawn, then take the piece. I've seen that sort of post-mortem analysis, and it's, okay. Anyway, so King B6 looks pretty strong here. To win B7. Okay, I mean the pin piece wasn't going anywhere, so okay. 9, thanks. 9-6, 9-6. Hello. Right, I'm gonna try this. Yeah, let's try this. And B4. Nope. Okay. Alright, have I got anything aggressive against this? One thing about the Queen A5 lines is when they have Bishop F5 and E6 after, it's like a solid Caro-Kann structure. And the only way of... You've got to hassle this position for black with G4, otherwise black's going to have a great time. So I think you've got to cause problems here for black. So this early knight E5, I've gone over this with someone recently. You've got to play a knight E5 early sometimes to try and cause black some problems, otherwise they've got a rock solid position and it's very annoying to play against. This is kind of solid already. Even, yeah, okay, he's safeguarding this bishop with how he's played it. Have I still got an idea of H4 or G4? Have I still got this idea? I wonder. Just hassle black. Some congestion. This knight D5 is going to be a right pain. If I play bishop D2, let him take on C2. It means if I castle, he's not doubling my pawns. He didn't take on C2. It's semi-exciting position, I think. And the strategic breaks are lacking. It's like water in a desert in this variation, trying to find strategic pawn breaks. But I think there might be one with F4, F5. F4, F5 might be a nuisance for black here. Strategic pawn break, F5. That's his best piece as well. It's holding together his best piece, this E6 pawn. I'm going to play for F5. Okay. Well, that's the end of his best piece, and he can't castle queenside. I want to play F5 and E6. This should open up the bishops, and it looks pretty tasty, as tasty positions go. Let's see, has he got Queen F4 check? It's not winning the bishop. So I'll play that. This looks fairly, yeah, fairly tasty. If he castles, there's H5, Bishop H7, Rook D7. He's got the check. Bishop D2, Queen G4. Let's have a look at this. Yeah, I think I kick off things with H5. The question is EF or Rook D7? Rook D7, let's have a look at this. Bishop H7, Rook D7, Queen F4, Bishop D2, Queen G4 say. Why don't I just take here, G5 and H6? This looks absolutely murderous if I can get in H6 here. It looks absolute murder. Even I can even ignore, there's no Rook E8 to ignore. I just want to play to mate the king here with G takes. Yeah, thanks for the game. Aqueducts we've played. Rocky Top. Okay, so Rocky Top. You just, when you play against that Scandinavian, you've got to be careful not to give black a solid position. The lines where you harass the bishop are the way to go, in my view, to get a meaningful advantage. The last thing you want is a lack of strategic breaks. This is something I've mentioned to someone before about this variation in the Scandinavian that we just had. If you can hassle that bishop, you can get an advantage, I think, on F5. You know, with early H1, G4 stuff, it's all the rage anyway, for like the main line, I think, most of the time. So anyway, let's see. So CD knights. Oh, he's pretty solid here. I gets these solid positions. I don't like this. Is he getting a solid position? Again, I have to question my lack of strategic breaks here. The only thing I think we've had this line against him a few times. It's this C8 bishop. If he gets the queens off,
Check.
again, he's going to have a hassle-free position. So I can't afford him getting the queens off. Okay, at least I get the light square bishop, for whatever that's worth. I'm not sure about my strategic break potential here. Queen G4. I don't know, has he got knight F6, Queen G7, Rook G8? Has he got that sort of thing? Can I play Queen G4? Is it worth a punt? I don't think I say Queen's pawn. That's his lack of is not yet castled into safety. So Knight C3, Bishop G5, get the rooks connected. Maybe Rook E1, D5 is the strategic break to play for, in theory, at the moment. Probably. Okay, so Bishop G5 here. If he plays Queen F5, I might take that off and Rook E1 check. He could pin my bishop with Queen G6. So back to the drawing board. Knight C3. He's got H5. Then what? This could be tricky. I think Knight C3. I don't know. Knight E4's threatened. Worth a punt. Knight E4 threat. So let's see. What is he doing? So I think Bishop G5. That's an annoying pin, isn't it? Queen G6. Unless there's something about that position. Let's test the waters there. D5 H6. Okay, he wants this H file as well. If I play Queen at F3, I don't want to get mate on H2. At the moment, he can't even do that. Okay, hitting B7 here. That supports Bishop D3. What is this Queen doing over here? Is it going to go back to F6? I would take on B7. So Bishop D3, Queen F6. That's just 94. Queen F3 does 96. Check. King E7. I'm not sure about that. So what is he doing here? Bishop D3, Queen F6, Knight E4, Queen F3, Knight D6, King E7. Does he not want a castle kingside? Now, if he castles queenside, I wonder. Just look at some forcing moves here, like Bishop A6 for a moment. You can just take that. I think Queen. Okay, it's all right. We'll go to this line then, or what is D5 is mentioned? That is Knight E5. There's A4 for A5 to embarrass this pin. So if he castles A5, wins a piece. See what he does to this. Try and improve on Bishop D3 with this plan. Okay. Okay. Now I have Knight E4. That's been slightly weaker than that square. Knight E4, Queen F3, Knight D6, King E7. What do I get there? I get nothing there. The queens come off. It's annoying. And this is a tactic I'm missing. Knight E4, Queen F3, Knight D6, King E7. Can't see it. So for the moment, what if I played Queen H3, let him play Queen D4? He's not casting anytime soon. It seems more fun, keep the queens on. So I want to play A5 and D5 if he lets me. a5 to push the knight away from d5, d5 after. The queen's not subject to tempo gain here as it is in that position with knight e5, so it can't castle. Let's push this away on d5. That's just, oh, there's queen e5. Yeah, it's not a threat. There's, okay, knight e4, there's queen e7. You can always take in b3 for bishop a3. Maybe that's a simple positional consideration here. Just take this bishop off and play b3 for bishop a3. It's simple, but d5 is tempting as well. Play d5 first. Right, now knight e4. Right, isn't that bishop h6 here? Takes queen h6. That would be a fun continuation. Bishop h6. There's f5. Knight g5. I'm not sure how sound that is. Probably, let's see. Let's have a look. Let's have a quick look. Bishop takes, queen takes, f5. There's nothing there. I think the positional approach might be to take this bishop off and try and use the dark squares. I think I'm going to use this. It's probably safer. Okay, I can isolate a pawn first. I don't think the f-file dynamic is that important here. I'm also weakening some light squares along the way if he has to use this pawn. Okay, so I'm thinking this position with bishop a3 in mind is a nice position. It's yeah, it looks alright. Nice pin. Now there's a tactic. Bishop takes, bishop h7. Well, now there's two pins. Okay, I can take here. There's bishop b2 here. Alright, thanks to the game. Mad Hatters. Did we play earlier? Sorry, I just want to. Okay. Okay. Mad Hatters. Okay, so how's everything over there on the chat? I hope everything's still fun, still lively. I hope still awake. Okay, all right. So G3 King's Engine. So D6 Knight D7. Oh, it's playing very positionally for his rating. Oh boy, I'm gonna get a positional torture here. Is this a positional Botvinnik variation, torture variation? I've just stepped into here. Okay. I don't think it's done too much wrong here yet. Nope, I don't think it's done too much wrong. All seems pretty logical so far. That might be a little bit suspect in some respect, but I think the position's still nothing much for me here at the moment. Probably, I mean, Queen A5, I might be causing some nuisance on the dark squares here with Queen A5. I'm hoping. I'm not underestimating my opponent, but hold on a sec. Isn't this pawn hanging on e4? Or is there some backfire to this that I should know about? Oh, try it. Try it. Okay, maybe this is good. Maybe this is good. Maybe. My rooks are not connected yet. Right, so I'm threatening the knight now. Also h3, the way he's played it. Okay, this one is rook e8 check. Bishop f8 is probably not the hottest idea ever. What if I took and bishop d4? Again, I don't like the idea of him checking with moves like bishop h6. It's unnecessary to allow, in theory, I'm talking from a theoretical perspective, these forcing moves that exist like queen e8 and bishop h6, even if I can barely calculate them. I mean, it's worth a shot calculating for a moment. Rook takes, bishop takes, check. Here, bishop h6, king takes, queen f8. The king's driven out. It's not that hot to have the king driven out. Nor is this hot for rook e8. So, is there a safer way of playing this position at all? What about, I think queen e5. So if he takes, I'm driving the knight back, I hope. Let's just play queen e5. It's just a theoretical permission of forcing moves, which sometimes you can calculate to the end, but there's an uncertainty about them, which often you regret allowing any forcing moves, basically. Don't know necessarily where they lead. This seems much simpler. I'm simply on d4 and h3 without any of these checks. That seems a much safer course. I'm happy with this. I'm also threatening potentially c5. Okay. I think I can take on h3, although there's c5 here. I could play c5 first. Maybe c5 first, and then bishop h3. Try not to underestimate any more rating. Let's see. There's bishop h3 now. On, let's see, rook d6 threatens rook d8. Have I got rook e8? If he plays rook d8, okay, I've got bishop d4 interruption. If knight d4 queen g2, I can interrupt this rook d8. Just trying to cut down his forcing moves again. I'm going to play rook e8. I think then I can play bishop g4. So knight takes, I've got queen g2, mate. Have I got bishop g4 here? Let's imagine bishop d4, bishop f3. This could run into trouble with rook d8. Again, no, I'm imagining things. I think bishop g4 seems safe enough. Bishop f3. I don't think there's anything. Famous last words. I don't think there's anything too scary going on. Why not just bishop e3? Am I getting a bit paranoid here? Bishop e3. And then bishop g4 after. Maybe it's just bishop e3. Let's have a look at this. Check take, check, king g7 takes, check. There's always okay, okay. I'm hoping this is okay. So rook d8 takes, check, king g7. All right. Okay. If I played bishop g4 here, the bishop g4 here, I'm down to a minute. If I play this, he's got rook d8. He's only a pawn down. Okay, that's rook's hanging here. I think that's good news. There's also queen e3. Okay, queen e3, then take the rook. I hope.
Check.
I'm going to take on f3 here. I'm getting close to losing on time with only 36 seconds. I don't know where my time went. I don't know. I didn't overanalyze earlier. Okay.
Check.
Right. Thanks for the game. Thanks for the game. It says it was not. Yeah. Okay. You caused some problems there for me. Let's go on the 3-minute auto pairing. I got a little bit concerned about the dynamic potential there. I was concerned. I didn't want to sort of be too greedy. When your back row is a bit vulnerable, yeah, there's cause for concern. Okay. Right, so this line. This is interesting, I think, in some respects, I imagine. It's a 3-minute game here. We've got a 3-minute game. I think knight g4 would have been something to have considered. Now it's too late. Nevertheless. B5, b4, queen a4. Yeah, I think I'm going for this b4 and queen a4 idea. Yeah, I thought I was. Still, maybe I take on here first.
Check.
Let's go here. Now, yeah, what's going on here? Let's try and assess this. It's okay. Have I got some sort of pawn roller? Has he got knight c3? If I play a5, he's got knight c3. Alright, now knight c4, there's a4. If queen c4, let's drop back here for a moment. If he ever wants the queens off, I think knight h5 to f4. Alright, go for this. Ah, this is good. Ooh! No! No! Can't allow this. I'm opening up the lines. Can he? Can he do this? I'm opening up the lines to his king. There's knight g3 threatened. Nice pin. Knight g3. I can win an exchange. And no, I can't. Well, I can. Is it worth it? There's queen a6 after queen a2. Anything better to do with the position than that? I can't see it, so let's win the exchange. There's a mate threat. Check Queen A1 is mating right now with the king. Escape square taken. Okay. Well, I put myself in trouble here. I suppose there's casting rook f6. I need queen a2, king c1. It's not such a big deal for him. He's also got h5 around the corner. It might cause some... Do I need this hassle? Oh, I don't want to get too short on time either. Can't do that much. I need some extra resources around here. I'm going to put my king on b7, I think. Do I have the other resource here? Rook b8. Right, is my king in bad shape here? I was going to sneak queen g1. If knight c1, rook a1, queen c1, king a2, rook a8. So queen g1, knight c1, rook a1. This might be the position to use this. Let's see, there's always got rook a3 after. Might be the position to use this.
Check.
He's got rook b3 threatens. He has rook a3.
Check.
He's also got queen c6. This one I've got
check.
Queen c2. He gets the queens off with winning endgame. Oh.
Time warning.
I think he's got winning endgame. I think I've run out of time. It's got winning endgame.
Check. Check. Check.
Pretty unfortunate, that one. Thought I had an attack. It didn't. No, that's unfortunate. Well played. Well played. All right. So GM. Okay. So GM. Double GM. Let's drink some water after that. Drink some water. Alright, so c6. Maybe c6. c6. Is that any good here? Trying to open up this bishop. Do I trap? Do I potentially trap his bishop? If I can open up this bishop, I think there's bishop f5 and knight d3 check here, winning this bishop on b2. Let's say he does bishop a4. That looks awkward. Yeah, I think bishop f5 for knight d3. So this looks good. Knight d3. My castle as well, but knight d3 I think is the threat here. Knight d3. Okay, let's see. How does he deal with knight d3? How does he do with knight d3? Moves the bishop. Knight d3 anyway. King moves. Oh! Okay, he's just resigned. Alright, Faithless. Thanks for the game man there. Faithless. I think bishop c3. Alright, so let's see. If I play a Tarash here, unless he plays c5. Is that Franco Benoni? So let's see what he does here. I shouldn't pre-move this. Get away, pre-move. Let me see. Franco Benoni, is it c5? d5 is better than knight d2. Because knight d2 essentially loses a pawn there. So this shouldn't be an automatic pre-move knight d2. Okay, play now. The Tarash. Right, this line, I think I've seen Kasparov play this line. He just plays knight f3, and I think the idea, usually you want to keep this bishop. You might throw in a check, but I think usually you want to keep this bishop, or you might throw in an annoying pin. On the other hand, there's queen e7. If I had this recently against an IM, which was a draw on the 5-minute horse pairing, where there was a quick queen e7 thrown in, and I didn't get anything. I'm wondering about bishop b5 here. What if I play bishop e2 in this position? Bishop e2. Again, I'm trying not to look at. I should show. I'm going to disable ratings at this point soon. I've been told to disable ratings on my channel quite a lot. I think I should, whether they're too high or generally too high intimidates me, too low complacency. Either way is bad news. So maybe just disabling ratings is the way to go. At the moment, he's done nothing wrong. I have to say, from the position, he's done nothing wrong. Particularly, it's pretty bog standard. I have faith he's got a good position here in a Faithless. He's got a good position. I can't. Okay. Unfortunately, I can't see anything wrong with his position just yet. I'm going to try and blockade this d pawn. Which kind of neutralizes the diagonal. Okay, let's put this bishop back. And this is a series of forcing moves which win by force, involving g5. This should be okay. I've had this kind of experience before in versions of the Scotch game, where g5 is actually sometimes a fantastically strong move under the right circumstance. I'm hoping it's not a strong move here. So just bishop g3 and weaknesses exist. Okay, can I play knight d4? You can actually play bishop d4, and if queen takes, there's rook e2. I can play c takes. It's not the end of the world just yet. So probably I want to play bishop f3. G5, there's g4 after as well. Got to be careful here about g5, g4 if I play bishop f3. Okay, he might be a little mistake here. Okay, phew. I was starting to get worried, very worried. Thanks, Faithless. You played well up to that point, basically. Up to that point. Well, let's go on a 3-minute auto pairing for a moment. Okay. Maybe try. Okay, there's a line here I picked up from Plasket, believe it or not, which involves just playing bishop f5 basically when you get a chance. So exchange off the light square bishops. This could in some way resemble a Slav defense, with white having extra weaknesses. I think I've had this sort of thing before in an over the board game against Andrew Stone once. This sort of similar position where I somehow got into the dark squares. Andrew Stone at Watford Chess Club, he's very, very good on Scramble on the iPhone. I know I gave up that game, but I think he still plays it in his World Championship standards on Scramble, the word game. Some people are fantastic on word games. Okay, anyway, I'm not getting into his dark squares, so I think I had something like e5 quickly against Stone. He's actually, yeah, putting me under great pressure here. And he'll have knight b5, I guess, to follow. So unless I have something soon, my position could be disintegrating. Possibly I assume, yeah, okay. Can I do this? Still got this nasty pin. I think bishop d3. King f7. Try and stop bishop e6. Might be an idea. I'm going to keep on this diagonal for a moment. If I take here, is that as crazy as it seems? It's pretty wild. What if I sack the knight instead? That's interesting. Just to free my position, try and give myself some play. It could be 3 pawns for the knight. Better to sacrifice the knight than the bishop if you look at tile games generally. Okay, so to keep my king secure, there might be bishop b4 check on knight a4.
Check.
And this gives me c5 and knight c6. Or knight d7. No, it takes that. What about knight c6? Does he want to take that? Alright. That's another pawn. Bishop g4 is handy. a5 is handy on bishop c5 for a pin. I use this pin first for rook e2. Oh, he's got rook g4. Can I play bishop c5 there? I can't take that. It was bishop e5. Let's see, rook e7. Man, he's got this dangerous pass pawn. Let's try not to get mated. We'll suffer with that pass pawn. Now I'm suffering with the pass pawn. Okay. That was knight a6. Okay, there's rook d8. Can I do anything here?
Check.
It's paralyzed my position.
Check. Check.
Uh-oh. Yeah, I think that's it. Wow, he simplified that pretty well. Yeah. Oh, I thought I was generating something for a moment. Okay, I thought I was causing some trouble. No, for a moment, for a brief moment. Be good. Maybe it's worth a quick check while waiting. For a brief. Okay, not enough time there. Okay. Good fella. 1903. Who's actually 2220? I don't know why people put that rating in the nickname. Sometimes that's a bit odd. Now with this position, right. I've played this with Black and against Swanson, and he played like this on the king side and made use of my weaknesses in a similar position. Steve Swanson, Hartford Chess Club. He played something like G4 against me. I played this whole thing with Black, so I'm trying to simulate Swanson's approach. He had a devastating game against me once where he fixed down my counterplay and exploited the holes on the king side. Can I do that here? I'm going to minimize Black's counterplay. Possibly worth playing A3. The G4 is vulnerable in some lines. If I play D takes here, just to relieve E5. If he takes with the knight, maybe Bishop C2. If he takes with the queen, as long as he's not coming to G4 that quickly. How does he come to G4 that quickly? If I play Queen E2 there on Queen C5, it's got Bishop G7. Well, there's Knight B3 and Bishop G5 potentially. Well, it's a bit dangerous for my king there. Okay, he's going to get some play, isn't he? Let's see. Knight C5, Bishop C2. Right here, what's the immediate threat? Can I play this? Queen E2 first. So now here is going to be mating me on H2 if I'm not careful. Can I hold E5? There's Bishop G6 to, it's not mate on H2, but there's Queen G3 check here. In the light of that, is there anything interesting? Can't see it. I'm losing that centre pawn. He's even protecting G6. I suppose I can throw in this
Check.
token check. He's threatening almost mate. Is there Rook G1 with some play? I don't know. Rook G1 with some play. Rook G1. He hasn't developed his queen side yet. I'm gonna get mated if I'm not careful. I want to play, I think, King G2 now and Rook H1. Does he want the queens off? Yes. That wasn't the best move. I was looking at his queen over there. Oh crikey! That was very energetic. Play by black there, very energetic. Yeah, I was looking at. I thought he was threatening something with his queen. I wanted to play rook h1.
Check.
Let's have a look at this line. Alright, so I'm hoping this is interesting. I think I played this guy once or twice before. This is looking as though knight g6, knight f4, knight e7, king h8. It's not worth it, is it? Let's just go here then. Just wondering, c5 square now as well. Actually, try and get a knight to c5. Or f4. So if he plays e4, okay, can I do this? So try and get this knight to c5, which would threaten knight e6. I think that's pretty good. I could follow up with c4. Oh, there's knight h5 surely. Tactically that's a problem, but I can get my knight c5 in. Try and break the center down a bit with cd and queen b3. Also the c file could be handy. So cd, queen b3. Oof. I don't want to have this knight trapped. Yeah. Right, g4, there's knight f4, I hope. Let's see. Queen here. If I can punt for g, okay, g4. f3 might not be too terrible. Does he have time for bishop g4? I've always got knight g3 now. And knight e4 here. And bishop g4. Knight f6. There's knight a4. Is there any, okay, there's rook c6 as a forcing move for knight f6, knight d5. It's more aggressive than knight g3 for sure. If I get to play knight f6, knight d5, melt down the centre. Bishop g4, knight f6 wins the exchange. Okay. I'll play here. Oh, maybe that was pretty dumb. What I've just done. That was dumb. That was dumb. No, no, no. Bishop g4 is killing now. Yeah. If I did have a chance in this game, I've blown it. I've blown it big time. Naughty, naughty. Too much counterplay recently. I've been giving them too much counterplay. Okay, another IM. Okay, but yeah, there was too much. Too much. Lost the grip there on the position. Let's try and play this without an immediate castling kingside, because that could be slaughter time. Can I do this? A5 bishop b7. This reminds me of the Kasparov short match, which had a lot of short games. Bishop b7, knight c6, knight e5, that sort of thing. What did Kasparov do with his knights? Had one on e5, got one on c5 sometimes. So knight c6 to e5, then maybe rook c8, knight c4. Isn't there knight b5 here? I've just given him knight b5, haven't I? Oh, there's queen. Maybe there's queen c6, and if knight takes, takes, and the knight here is hanging. Really going to castle into this. I'd rather have knight b5, queen c6 on that a4 knight. Knight d6 takes. Yeah, there's all the f3 anyway. F3 here. So let's see. We've got knight c4 coming up. It's too loose. Probably too loose, the position. Can I afford knight d7, knight b5, queen c6? Just to try and get in. He's always got knight b5 there. What about knight g4 then? Maybe that's a safer idea. Although that knight is looking stranded. Doesn't look too comfortable with his knight b5 in the air, so haven't got too many great options, I believe. Right, so tactical, knight d6 takes, maybe e5 roundabout here. Hope I'm not getting mated down here. Is he going back to g1? Trying to weaken this diagonal as well. Wondering about this. Taking might be a good idea. I'm not entirely sure. No. Doesn't look so hot now. Can I play knight d7? This doesn't look entirely hot, I know. If I can survive this, I can play rook c8 on the bright side. f5. This knight's hanging. There's queen d6. If that's not mating, can I play this?
Check.
Hmm?
Check. 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 Check.
We've only got 7 seconds, it's not that much. To play this ending now.
Check.
Oh, he's probably winning technically, yeah. Okay. It's always fun playing this Sicilian defence. It's so razor sharp. It's like caffeine. It's so razor sharp. You think you're going to get mated most of the time. How you're just surviving. It's like doing an intense maths exam. You have to be. If you're not precise, it's either a 1 or a 0. It's pretty. If you're not precise, you just lose. Yeah, just instantly. All right, this guy. Can I get revenge on this guy? Let's try G6 to avoid his little Trompovsky stuff. Try and steer it into my pet territory. Yeah. I've played this quite a few times recently. Yeah, the technical positions are a bit like maths, the wafty positions are a bit like social science essay writing. I imagine. Okay, so Queen C7. Yeah, and I could have played a Sicilian against him after that last Sicilian. Maybe I should have played Sicilian, but anyway, clock advantage so far. It doesn't look entirely terrible, although D6 looks vulnerable. I'll play for knight H7, try and kick the bishop away from D8, so I can play rook D8 to support D6. I don't know if that's an issue he's creeping up to here sneakily. Yeah, well, not so sneakily. This D6 pawn. Can I play for D5 to liberate the position? It's almost Sveshnikov feel. He gets to play D5 to try and liberate the position. He plays C4, he weakens some dark squares. D5 here, my king get demolished for bishop G6. Yeah, he's lurking around my king, just waiting for this diagonal. Swap of this bishop. This says bishop F7. I think there's always bishop C4 after. If he's got knight G5, queen B3, bishop C4, queen C4. Right, let's have a look at this position. Oh, knight G5 is covered here. Have I got rook C5 to drop this rook? With rook A8. Yeah, I don't like the D5 hole. Should have played Sicilian. My fault for playing G6. No, he didn't let me play. He played D4. What am I talking about? I'll give up this regret for the opening. He didn't play E4. Sorry. Let's get back to reality of this position and try and find some resources here to defend that gaping D5 hole. Okay, rook C5. It's got B4. Can I just, what about stopping knight C4 just for a laugh? Just stop knight C4. Get this knight back in the game. Contest the D5 square. Let him do that. Fine. I'll get a knight into D4 here. Knight D7, C5, E6, D4. What's happening to him? Okay. Can I get this? Can I get this? Knight in here. He's got F4 or something. He's got an exchange sack for sure. Stop the exchange sack with Queen A7, Knight D4. Knight D5. CD, there's Rook C2 there. ED, there's still Knight D4, Rook D4, Queen D4. Okay, I think this is okay, possibly. Okay, possibly. A4 or Rook C4. A4, B4, A3. What if I double on C4? Resources. Resources. What resources here? That entrenched knight. What about Queen F7? There's an idea. There's F5. Queen D5. Rook C1. I've only got 27. Sorry, I've just realised I haven't got much time here to play with. Just try and not get hacked on F6. Yeah, there's a time warning because I'm going to lose on time at this rate. Don't tell me he's winning with passed pawns again. Okay. Okay. He's winning with passed pawns again. I gave him some issues, I think, to think about anyway. I think we played Mozef. Hang on, have we played Mozef? No? Don't think we played Mozef. Okay. Oh, hang on. This is a 5-minute game, and there's only 5 minutes left officially. I should have ended with some bullet games. Oh, sorry. I should have ended with some bullet games. But anyway, okay. Yeah, I think Bishop D6 is an issue with Bishop G7. This is I'm on the fire here. So this game replaces my traditional losing 6 million games of bullet at the end. It seems I can. Okay, let's see. Rook D8, Knight C5 for that D3 bishop. Here, Knight C5, targeting that D3 bishop. Ever so subtly or unsubtly. Knight C5. Yeah, that would structurally compromise him. Knight C5. Okay, he has to deal with Knight C5. What does he do? Knight C5. Not doing much about Knight C5. He's weakening his, not just his king, a few squares, like F3 here. Yeah, think I'm winning a piece here. I don't know how he defends f3 necessarily. How does he defend f3? Nevertheless, oh hang on, if he's trapping my bishop and I'm on his bishop with tempo. Okay. Play for bishop d5. Oh, e5 and queen g4, but I think e5 here for queen g4. And bishop d5 in reserve, but he's always got the exchange sack.
Check.
I can play for queen g3 here. Now king g2, let's see, king g2, bishop d5. So knight e5, queen takes g3. What is he doing here? King g2, bishop d5. Is he doing that exchange sack? Okay, let's try and calculate. Yeah, rook takes, c takes, just in case. Knight e5. What is happening anyway? All right. Queen f5. Can't see anything too bad about queen f5 for a moment. Now, if I ever play this, then there's knight f7 with hassle. Trying to avoid some hassle here. What about bishop d4? Try and retract this knight, get this knight to retract and play bishop f6. Queen f6, knight d7. Probably safer bishop d4. Bishop d4. Bishop f6 after. Okay, oh thanks. Yeah. Alright, should we just end with one or two bullet games just for fun? I mean, super fun. I mean, although I should probably end on this high, but no, I'm going to just get massacred in one or two bullet games. Or we could end here. Maybe just one bullet game and end here. So I hope you like this session. If you want to vote on it, 1 fun, 10 boring. That's cool. And this guy, didn't we play him last week? I'm going to try and pre-move most of this game, if possible. Basically, try and get some sort of clock advantage, and I'm weakening myself on the queen side. That's great. Just get a terrible position. Bishop c2. Alright, oh, I've just allowed knight g2, haven't I? Why am I playing this bullet stuff? Why didn't I just finish that on the high? Okay, interesting. My natural masochistic self wants to play bullet at the end of this 2-hour session for some weird reason, I don't know. Can I get a knight into f5? Doesn't do anything. That's the problem with this.
Check.
Doesn't do anything. I'm opening up his bishop, potentially. Let's blockade there, keep an eye on c5 as well. Try and time down. Now if he's doing nothing, I'll try and win his a pawn with my king at this rate. Oh, he's actually winning an exchange. Okay. Let's try and not lose the exchange. What about rook h7 again? Okay, let's go for this. Okay, come on then. Come on then. Come on then. Come on then. Ah.
Check.
Oh, this is not enough to win. There's a pawn over here. Ah. Pre-move. Come on then. Come on then. Let's go. Let's go. Let's not stalemate him.
Check. Check.
Yes. Yes. Oh, finally, I won a game of Bullet at the end of a 2 hour. I tell you, it's a lot harder than it sounds. I tell you, even though I'm generally think of my Bullet as okay, it's a lot harder. Okay, I think we should end here. Okay, should we end here? I hope you've enjoyed this session. I think I'm not going to push my luck too much this time. Okay. Okay, we'll end here, and hope you have a good weekend. Happy chess and weekend and weather for you. If you have nice weather, that's great. Oh, if you don't, sorry. Okay, anyway, so sorry I mentioned the weather. Anyway, so have a nice weekend, and see you next week. Thanks very much. Likes on the video appreciated. Thanks very much.